It's been a while. Hey everybody, and welcome to This Got Made, a series where I cover the strangest pieces of media I can find, and today we're gonna be talking about Caveman. Back in 2004, a guy named Joe Lawson wrote a series of commercials for Geico based around the slogan, "So easy, a caveman could do it." Each one was funny, but more or less had the same punchline. Someone says or alludes to the line, a caveman gets offended, end of commercial. But as time went on, those jokes started becoming more elaborate. They went to therapy, they were at a party, it all became its own meta joke that manages to be thought-provoking while still being funny each time. So at the height of the craze, ABC commissioned a sitcom based on the commercials that premiered on October 2nd, 2007. It had 13 episodes, got hit by the writer's strike, and then was canceled. In America, only the first 6 episodes aired, and the only reason the other episodes are even online is because it was broadcast in Australia. There isn't even a DVD or a digital release of these shows, it's just lost the time outside of what people happen to be recording. So today, we're gonna be looking at the first episode of the show titled Her Embarrassed by Caveman. So, let's get started. So the opening sort of sets up the premise of the show. Caveman never really died out of this world and just sort of became a part of our society. And if Heil Honey I'm Home has taught me anything, it's that this is gonna be a terrible metaphor down the line.
So there's this tiny
I know that voice. Is that Nick Kroll? Oh my god, it is! Nick Kroll has the magical ability to be the worst part of whatever he's in. Usually you forget about his appearances because he's a guest star for an episode or something, but whenever he's the star of a show, usually something he has to create himself, he just becomes insufferable. The League is the exception, not the rule.
Yabba dabba doo. Don't. Ever.
45 seconds in and already we resort to the Flintstones joke. So these three are your main characters for this journey. Joel, Andy, and Nick. All three of them are cavemen living in San Diego and are just your average sitcom tropes. Joel is the straight man, Andy's the depressed guy that got dumped, and Nick is the lazy, pretentious student. Don't believe me? Let's look at the next scene.
Can I have the Sudoku?
I do the Sudoku.
We can do it together. Susan and I used to do it together.
Andy, enough. All right, look, this city is swarming with chicks. Now you just gotta get out there and meet some of them.
This is the whole goddamn show. So since this is supposed to be a thinly veiled allegory for race, they have a conversation about how cavemen are expected to stay in their lane when it comes to relationships.
That's true, but keep in mind, this isn't like home where everybody's like us. So remember the rule. Stick to your kind, crave the cave.
And knowing how basic this show is, that's Joel's central conflict right there. So Joel works at this knockoff IKEA. Is that Nick Swardson? What the hell is this show? Joel and Bucky Larson get approached by some girls and whoa, that was quick. But why would you do it on an IKEA display? The idea is not to be seen, right? Also, why is this guy just napping on the top bunk? Does IKEA work differently in this world, or am I just shopping at IKEA wrong? The next scenes are just more sitcom tropes. Nick is being a lazy shithead and Andy's on the phone with his girlfriend again.
R. Kelly, get out of the closet. We're going out.
Yes, please, do anything else.
Okay, I don't know what I'm doing here. I don't even know how to pronounce this stuff. Okay, it's all Uxman.
You know, IKEA jokes fit this show a lot better than you'd think, cause just like Caveman, they're old, antiquated, and not funny.
I'm just sick of his whole self-righteous act. You know what I mean?
Totally.
I'm just gonna tell him. I'm gonna get it off my chest. It's just not worth all the stress.
You're not gonna bite me, are you?
Nick Swardson is just if Jack McBrayer was unlikable. Alright, we're back with Andy and Nick. Let's see if they can do anything to break the sitcom mold.
This place is really cool.
Yeah, if you like hanging out with pretentious posers. Can I have a tall soy macchiato and a cranberry biscotti?
Nope. Listen, this scene goes nowhere. Nick Kroll is poor and Andy has a bunch of money. The scene ends. Next. So Shia LaBeouf's mom is a realtor selling a house, and I feel like they're going to try really hard to make this seem like it has a deeper meaning.
I'm not passing judgment, Nick.
I'm Joel.
Nuh-uh. Oh my God. I'm sorry. Maybe one of you guys should tie like a piece of colored ribbon in your hair.
This feels like some white guy trying to understand what it means to be oppressed in America without actually having any frame of reference. It all just feels cheap and surface level. And I'm not trying to say that Joe Lawson is a bad writer. In fact, I want to take a minute to show you quite the opposite. This man has become big as a producer and writes episodes for a lot of successful shows, including Shameless, Jane the Virgin, Modern Family, and even won an award for an episode of BoJack Horseman, specifically Season 3, Episode 7, Stop the Presses. While researching for this episode, I actually learned that a lot of my favorite episodes of BoJack Horseman were written by him. He has talent and knows how to create interesting setups and nuances for each episode to keep in line with the show he writes for, while also being unique when compared to the rest of the show. But this show comes off as a guy trying to capitalize on a trend he created, because who wanted this?
Punch your face! Body blow!
Where did you guys get that?
We bought it!
Yeah, and we bought a panini press.
And down vests.
2007 was a much simpler time. Joel tries to be real with his friends about Kate and finally tells them,
Well, since you're so caring, I'm sure you won't mind this. Kate's a saint.
I actually really like that line. There are a lot of little touches like calling people safe that makes the whole world seem more alive and real, but the main problem is that the rest of the show is such a generic sitcom bullshit that doesn't try to do anything interesting with its premise.
It's a good rule, Joel. Keep your penis in your genus.
Alright, you got 2 out of me, caveman. We learned that Joel hasn't met any of Kate's friends yet, which could be because she's ashamed to be dating a caveman.
So either they haven't warmed up to you, or, and this is so pregnant with meaning, they haven't met you yet. Face it, Joel, she is ashamed of you. Are you even in her top 8 on FaceBase?
That was so 2007, it hurt.
I think you're jealous because I'm dating somebody while you sit around playing video games on your butt all day, destined to wake up one morning old and alone with nothing but regrets.
Oh my god. Susan.
Oh my god, it's just like Heil Honey, I'm Home! The same problems that I talked about in that pilot are present to a lesser degree in Cavemen. It is just the most generic sitcom ever with no deviation from the formula, expecting you to laugh just because these are cavemen. If you took these characters out and just made it regular people, the situation would be no different. What they needed to do was write a show that could only be done with this premise. But no, instead we get a rejected episode of How I Met Your Mother. Like, I bet the next scene is gonna be them making out and Joel asking to meet her friends.
Hey,
What?
hey, you know what I think we should do tonight?
What?
I think we should get some people together, huh? My friends and your friends. We could go out and get some drinks or something.
Actually, tonight's not a very good night. I already have plans. It's kind of a girls' night.
Yeah, about what I expected. Also, the goal is to be hidden, right? I'm not wrong in saying that there are like 100 places to hide it in IKEA, and between 2 rugs is one of the stupidest places. So they get together to play squash and talk about how he failed at standing up to his girlfriend. I'm not gonna dwell too long on this scene because you know exactly what scene this is.
She kept avoiding the issue. You know, I tried to pin her down, but she's just so freaking...
She's not ashamed of you, she's ashamed of herself.
Yeah, exactly. But there is one thing that I do want to talk about. Why squash? Like, the party scene at the beginning is connected to one of the original commercials. Even Andy is from the original commercials, but squash? That's the whitest thing I can think of. So the next stop is Joel going to confront his girlfriend at her girls' night to let her know how he feels in front of all of her friends.
I need to talk to you.
Hot plate coming in.
Look, Kate, there's something I need to say.
Lobster enchiladas.
I did. Oh, wait.
Oh, never mind, we're doing this, the food's coming to the table at the same time he's trying to do his heart-to-heart. Okay. And now we're gonna, oh wait, no? They just cut to these fools at the bar to explain exactly what's going on. Okay, now he confronts her and
Where is my fork? Is that my fork?
holy shit, get to the point! Okay, now he begins to say his feelings and...
No, do not bring those tortillas.
This one scene shows how scrapped for ideas they were for this entire show. This is supposed to be the big emotional climax. This is supposed to be the part where Joel confronts his girlfriend and her friends don't care. Oh, and by the way, they don't care. This is supposed to be the scene with a big dramatic speech that ties in the themes of the episode. This is supposed to be the scene to characterize Joel and establish what he's going to be going through for the rest of the show. But we never get that, and it's clear that the writers of the show just didn't know what to do. That is why there are so many distractions. That is why when he actually speaks, it's short and awkward. That is why this scene doesn't work. A sitcom like this needs an emotional heart to carry the story. It's why the early seasons of How I Met Your Mother work so well, but the later seasons just don't. Without us connecting to these characters, this whole scene just feels awkward. Let's just end this. I want to play Animal Crossing. So Joel and Kate reconcile, and she says she's dated a lot of cavemen in the past. Andy starts flirting with Kate's friend, and Nick puts it in Joel's head that she has a caveman fetish, most likely setting up his central conflict for the rest of the series. Not that I'm ever gonna find out. I have no intention of watching another minute of this goddamn show. Caveman is a show in concept only. I don't hate the idea, and you would think that if someone was passionate enough to take his funny commercial idea and make it a show, and if that guy happened to go on to write some of the best episodes of numerous slice of life shows, some with ridiculous premises, then it would work here. But nope? Who knows, if this were made 2 years before or 2 years later, it could have been something good, but you can tell how the writer's strike really damaged this show. While the world building really does work, which is something that the original commercials did right, nothing else is funny. The jokes all fall flat, the humor is very basic, and the characters are just unlikable at the end of the day. This show failed so spectacularly that they actually made a commercial roasting it and aired it at the Super Bowl. And let's be real, that's probably the first time most people even heard of the show. And I want to thank you guys for watching the big comeback episode of This Got Made. If you want to see the other episodes, then click that playlist right over there. And why not watch some of my other videos while you're here? And why not subscribe so you know whenever I post the new episode? Thank you guys, and I'll see you next time.